It's early morning, Christmas Eve, 2017, 2018, slowly rolling in here. I guess from what I've researched and what other people have been researching and talking about, 2018 is going to be a crazy ride. I did a recording 2-3 days ago. I'm going to put on here after done giving my little talk here. I want you to keep your eye on the bouncing ball, the dimensional disco ball, we'll call it. In the past, a few months ago, a lot of people were calling it the Death Star, and I know what this is based off of. Nikola Tesla actually based a patent off of this. How much of it is our technology and their technology, I'm not sure. Is it 100% theirs? More than likely, yeah. Do we have a hand in it? Probably, but I couldn't tell you for sure. But I showed you this dimensional disco ball before, morphing. I've shown it to you in different lights, different cameras, and it always kind of looks the same. Seems like if you use like a 1080 video or like a 4K camera, is when you can really get the good detail like this. Maybe like a 12 megapixel, maybe even a 10. I wouldn't say anything lower than a 10 though. My Canon's a 10, so I get some pretty good pictures with it, but it's got the 1080. But anyways, what this is it's like an organic technology. I've been showing it to you guys for over a year now, talking about it. That's the thing I think that threw me off the most is that it looks organic to me, but you can see the technology in it. It's pretty tripped out. But this is where these entities are coming from. So it's got to be some kind of like you heard of the stargate. Well, maybe this is like a sungate. This is maybe our stargate. I've heard about ancient technologies and stargates back then, and we can see it in today. Even in the old ruins, you always see like these strange doorways into like this giant piece of granite carved some crazy way. Well, get a good look at some of those pictures. They're in Peru. They're in there's another Bolivia, and then you can find them all over the Middle East. And there's a really well-known one. I want to say it's Turkey or something like that. But if you look at all these, there's even been found in the Grand Canyon too. If you look at these doorways, there's always a little box next to it, like a little square opening next to the doorway. And that's where the ancient technology used to be. And I'm 100% know this to be a fact, just because of things I've seen and studied, and what other people studied and seen as well. These things, they're the old ones, the ancient ones. The Sumerians called them the Anunnaki. Mayans, they did some crazy crap over these things too. And that's why they're so into the sky. There's times that I guess our veil's thin. Sometimes maybe man-made. Sometimes maybe it's a biblical thing. Sometimes maybe it's just the way the cycle goes. I don't know. But the ancients seen these things and interacted with them. Especially, it seemed like they're elitists and more well-off people, occultists and stuff like that. This is what that was all about. You clearly see in the photos I've shown you how they morph and change and are just the strangest looking things in the world. You can understand where the Transformers concept comes from, because that is totally it's totally based off the fallen angel character thing that I've talked about before. That there's a lot of cartoons and superheroes that are based off of the fallen angels and their stories. And but Transformers is a really, man, it's right in your face. And the one thing I never really understood though was like the cube and all this, when they're always talking about in Transformers, like I can't remember the damn name of it, but it was the cube that gave him life and gave him the ability to pretty much be immortal. If you ever seen Transformers, they kind of die, but they don't. They can be brought back to life and by the spark of this from the cube and all this crap. But anyways, maybe this device that we're seeing is like their cube. I'm going to show you some of the morphing ones, but I really believe this. The reason why it looks like a lens flare or a sun flare, and it's just like kind of like taking a set of binoculars and looking at them the wrong way. You can really see the object really clear that you're looking at. I mean, with great detail, but it looks like it's so far away, or excuse me, or so tiny, And this is what we're seeing here. Being the let's say the lens being behind the sun, or what we perceive the sun to be. And this is kind of like just the when you take like a magnifying glass and you concentrate the sunlight and you get that little beam of light. This is what this is. I guarantee you that's what it is. Where it's a hole in the dimensions, and I guess, and that's why we're seeing this. I don't know exactly why we have a simulated sun like this, and these beams are clearly coming from it. I'm gonna at the very end, I'm gonna put what I know to be a negative force and a positive force interacting with each other, and using the sun as a portal as well. And you can clearly see the negative. You can tell it's negative, and the positive you can actually tell is pretty positive, and it goes after the negative. It's pretty wild. I've shown it to you before, but I'm going to put it in here anyways. And one more thing. I don't mean to cut it short, but one more thing. The video I'm going to put in here too from a few days ago, I'm just going to show you, we'll call it my little shadow, if you will. He's always around, and he always lets me he'll let me get close-ups of him and stuff like that, and he makes sure. And in this video, he must have did about 3 or 4 rounds, but I don't think this is the only one that follows me or is near me. I think there's a handful of them. They like I said, and I'm going to show you again, they use the elements to hide. Is this a negative force? Is it a positive force? I don't know. If we go with the Bible, which that's how I base a lot of this off of my knowledge and stuff like that, after researching all the truth for 7 years now, 6-7 years now. the one thing that has never led me astray or led me in circles, like some of these conspiracy theories and BS and alien UFO bullshit, I've never been led in circles by the Bible. And I've always been able to find answers. It usually requires help from other people for me to get the answers, because the Bible is so deep you can read it 2-3 different ways if you really want. But the cool thing about it is it's always positive when you read it, no matter how you look at it, and full of wisdom and awesome knowledge, truth. You just got to know how to read it. So, if this is the case, these entities, we're not going to really be able to tell them bad or good or anything like that, unless it's like a great demonic force or a great positive force, like the last video I'll show you. Hopefully I can dig it up. But anyways, I don't know how y'all feel about Christmas. I know it is a pagan holiday, but I don't think of it that way. I don't give that kind of thought into it. We all have to deal with it, no matter what. You know, even if you weren't of a Christian religion, everybody has to deal with it. Family and all that stuff. I don't really celebrate it. I might exchange a few gifts here and there, but I've never had a tree or anything like that. So it's never been really a big deal to me. But it is my mom's birthday today, so, and I know she watches these. Probably seen her comments once in a while. But happy birthday, Mom. I know you're gonna watch this video, so hope you have a good day. I'll try to get a hold of you sometime today. But that's what I got for you. I'm gonna leave you with another talk, and I'll probably make another video here for you since I got a couple days off. So I got some good material for you. Y'all take care. Enjoy your families. See, it's December 20th, 2017. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the last video and some of the other stuff that I've been showing you. These things, I don't know if these smaller ones that I keep on catching that are really close to me and the camera, I don't know if these are different than the entities that I catch flying from the sun. They do seem to change, when you see them flying by the sun, they change as the sunlight hits them differently. And I strongly believe what we're seeing in the sun is a dimensional portal. And I think sometimes you'll see this blue ray coming down. What it reminds me of is like a giant magnifying glass. But it's maybe like some type of crystal or something they're using. It's some type of technology like this, maybe opening up a hole in our veil and allowing these entities to come and go as they please. Or maybe it's an object that's thinning the veil and we're seeing what always goes on. But either way, it is dimensional. These things change like that. Chances are they can change their size as well. Or, they're always talked about as being a body of hosts. More than one, but as one unit, like a hive mind. And maybe this is where the hive mind theory comes from, because as I study these things, I never would give them glorification because I know what they are. And as much as they are a part of my life every day, and it's quite the norm. I try not to give them too much thought, because I know what they are, and I find myself, if I do that, negative. Everything becomes really negative around me. It's been a pretty hard battle, but I'm starting to get it, and I'm getting stronger with it. So I'm starting to be able to understand this, and a little more clear in what this is all about. And I'll share it as I can with you, the best I can, as far as using words to describe it, because it's something on a whole nother level. These things are well aware of what I'm doing and what we all are doing, sky watchers and people that are filming it. And once you notice them, they notice you right back. You know, they make it known that you know, and they know. So I think these things are what people consider the old ones, the ancient ones, the Anunnaki, the gods, all this crap, and where our comic book heroes come from, and the ideas and all this stuff. I think there's different levels of these beings as well. That's why I say, you know, like maybe there's some type of scout, the smaller ones that we see. I see them. You don't really see them with the naked eye. They're so fast. I'm telling you, they're so fast. Like those ones that are close. Sometimes I think I've seen stuff just a handful of times, but I couldn't tell you for 100% sure. You know, and so it really makes you wonder. And I'm gonna show you some video of the reason why I think this is almost like a magnifying glass is because what people call the Death Star, that red lens flare or sun flare that everybody gets. Well, that in this video, I showed it to you before. It's like if you ever took a magnifying glass and made a small little light, you know, reflecting it in the sun, and people would burn ants and paper and all kinds of stuff with it. It could start a fire. In a way, I think maybe it's kind of like that, but almost looking into a set of binoculars backwards is what we're seeing. That's the morphing and all that changing. I think that's kind of the concept of it. That's why we're seeing that. So, with this all being said, I hope you have a better understanding of these videos I've been showing you. My technology is on the pretty limited right now. I've been running off of my backup computer for, I don't know, about a month and a half now, and because my last one got a virus and crashed, and with everything going on, moving, cutting fingers, and all this stuff, truck issues, I really haven't been able to afford anything new, and I'm hoping every time I think I'm gonna get ahead, something else happens. But it's getting better. Like, you know, like the craziest thing happened to me yesterday, and I'll talk to you about it more. I'd like to get a little bit more personal with you after the last year and few months here. A lot of my subscribers I've gotten to know pretty good and trust, and I think it's fair for me to tell you where I came from and why I was even interested in truth researching, and how I got going in it and all that. I think it's fair to, you know, that helps everybody kind of just think, you know, hear other people's stories, and kind of, you know, there's not so much question about, is this guy crazy or not, or is this guy making this stuff up, or whatever. But yeah, I'd like to share a little bit more with you guys about me. So I'm gonna cut this video kind of short, and hopefully I'll have some more new material for you. I'll have to tell you about what happened to me yesterday and that whole thing, but that's another video. So y'all have a good night and take care.